Hey guys, what's going on? Coming at you again with such a cool guest today. I want to welcome Drew to the channel. Drew is in the coaching program. He's been in the coaching program now for a couple months. Out of state investor, all the way over in California. He's got two properties so far, but in the process of building so much more. Drew, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, of course. Thanks, Red, for having me. I'm just looking forward to the conversation and glad to be here on the channel. And hopefully, somebody gets inspired and encouraged to do the same thing we're doing.
Yeah, and Drew, thank you so much for coming on. And the reason, guys, that I wanted to bring Drew on is because just like some other people that have been on this channel, when I talk to Drew, when I look at what Drew's done, when I look at his body of work and how he goes about this business, I want everybody at home watching to see that. And I want you to take away as much as you can from Drew because Drew is an out-of-state investor. Drew lives in California, and he invests all the way across the country, almost 3,000 miles away. He's been so successful in a short amount of time, and we'll get into his properties and we'll get into all that good stuff here in a minute. But one of the reasons why Drew is so successful is because he views these investments not only based on cash return and return on investment, which are good, his numbers are very good, but also on the human side of things. And the decisions that he makes are based on ethics and morals and treating other human beings with respect. And that's why I have enjoyed working with this gentleman and as much as I have. So Drew, that is an art that is so far gone in today's day.
Yeah.
But can you talk about that a little bit? Just what that's been like for you and being able to make those decisions with other human beings in mind to make it a win for everybody involved.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Red, for having me on the channel. And I think it's life, the school of hard knocks. Like you go through things in life, and you see other people go through situations, and you know it brings you to a place of understanding humanity more when you come to the lows and the highs in life. And so I've always been taught since I was a youngin, just to treat others as I would have been treated. I would want to treat myself. I would treat others as I would want to be treated, and that's the one thing that has worked. I've done things where I've tried to do it in my own power, my own strength, my own will for myself, and all about me, and it always is never satisfying. There's no fulfillment in that. And so when you begin to look at other people differently, and you begin to care more for the neighbor, for the person to your left and to the right, that's when you start to get fulfillment, and that's where that joy in life comes. And so meeting you has been the same thing. When I was searching for that next way to invest, for the next season of my life, I came across your videos, and it took me a while to really. I'm not really fast on jumping on, like, the hype of this person or that. I really investigate people's hearts and trying to find out who they really are. And that's what I found in you, man. It's the same thing. You weren't about the flashiness, about, hey, here I am, I'm doing this and that. You're really about helping other people, create that cash flow and create a legacy for them and their families of wealth, and teaching people the slow and steady path. And that's what attracted me to you. And so I was, and it's just, it goes to show you, when you have certain ways of doing things, and someone else shares that, there's a connection there. So that's, yeah, man, that's all I got to say as far as myself and how we came in how I came in contact with you and how we met. So
Well, I appreciate that, Drew. And one thing that is unique to you, which I absolutely want to talk about because it was the hardest thing for me, was being an out-of-state investor and investing in other markets. Now, I lost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars trusting the wrong management companies and contractors and realtors and trusting all the wrong people. You live out in California and you've been doing real estate for a while. I mean, you have
Yeah.
some incredibly successful Airbnbs.
Hmm.
Now you are investing across the United States in Section 8 with a whole new team, realtors, contractors, management companies, lenders, insurance companies, all these new people, right? And you've never even been to the properties,
Yeah.
right? What
Yeah.
has that been like for you as somebody who is in real estate in California to just trust the process,
Yeah.
invest out of state? What have been the biggest takeaways and things that you've learned from that?
That's good. Absolutely. Yes, I definitely have been fortunate enough to have some property down here in California, and grow an Airbnb business in the last 5 to 7 years. Um, and it's definitely goes back to the trust, trusting in the right people, being able to pick the right team, and Rhett, like I was saying, it goes to show you, man, your character there's something about you as a person that I connected with, and it's really uh that has been the biggest takeaway, is like I have found you to be professional, and I have found you to be. Not only did I get to know you, but there was a network of a team that I inherited becoming a part of your program, and that has been a game changer, because it's allowed me to have the peace of mind to be able to give over certain tasks to the property management, and grow in relationship with them and contractors, and just the team that has been available to me and become available, and the person who you are, to be able to like coach me and teach me and be hands on. It's just been amazing. And 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 uh I've been doing Airbnbs, still do Airbnbs, but it was time for me to pivot, because of once COVID hit, it kind of changed the game for Airbnb, and it goes up and down, and it's not consistent, it's not as um secure. And so when I heard about your program, and I heard some of your videos you have out there already, it just I kept watching them for months and months, and it just sat well, and it made sense, and it was very and so once I locked in with you and got in the program, it was exactly everything that you said it would be, and it's been since then fruitful, and I'm just super like hyped and excited just to keep going. It's very motivational. And it's very, you're hands on, but you're also like, go, you're like, go, it's free, it's your turn, you got to take it. Like you're walking alongside each of your you know your your clients, but you're also like, I'm learning, and I'm doing it on my own as well. So it's just, this is a great program.
Well, thank you, Drew. I appreciate that. And yeah, I always want to say, because it's true, and you summarize it right there, but go do it, right?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
you've done that. I can give you the team, and I can give you the advice, and I can give you everything, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to have to sign on the dotted line, right? You're the one
Absolutely.
that has to send the closing funds, right? It's
Yeah.
you. So I'm so proud of you because you've been so
Thanks, man.
successful, and I know a lot of the people watching, they want to hear about your properties. They tuned in, they love
Yeah,
your story, they want to hear about your property. So let's talk about
absolutely.
it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the first property you bought was in Birmingham, Alabama. You purchased it. It was already cash flowing, correct?
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
Section 8 rental already, and it is cash flowing. So you bought it for 65,000. The
Yeah.
tenant in there is paying $850 a month, full Section 8. So what does that mean? Every single month you get payments?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fantastic. I think the that was I remember you texting me, and you're like, "Hey man, there's a property. It's already ready to go. It's like, usually we got to get a tenant. We usually got to get like vet for through somebody. We got to do through this whole process." And I was like, "Okay, let's." It was kind of a I got like the crash course, like the speed, the fast, track. And so that was like, I was super stoked on that. And so yeah, it was like right away from like as soon as the property was purchased, it was like the cash flow came in the next month. I didn't have to worry about a tenant. Um, the property management, we locked that in, and they're taking care of everything from that point on. And I'm sleeping and making money, and that's just ridiculous. And I don't have to. It's secure. It's locked in. It's like I'm helping other people on this program, Section 8 as well. It's a win-win all around. And so that just the first deal I had, I just got lucky, and it just fell right in my lap. And I'm telling you,
But
it's
you also, Drew, you
yeah,
also added a ton of value to it immediately, right?
absolutely,
So you bought it for 65. It was cash flowing 100% Section 8 for 850. But then you spent 14,000 on it. You
yep,
put a brand new roof on it. We went in the house, we updated the electrical, we did plumbing work, and we did work on the inside to also make it better, to cut down on our maintenance that we're going to have to spend, to cut down on that insurance policy because it has a brand new 25-year roof on there.
yeah,
There was some water damage on some of the ceilings in the house. We took care of those, and now we don't ever have to worry about that again. So you're into this house for under $80,000. It's
mm-hmm.
rented for $850 a month. Your return on it is really good. You bought it in cash, but now we're in the process of filing for a rental increase that's going to bring that unit probably up to $1,000, if not closer to 1,100.
Mm.
So, talk about that a little bit, and just you buy it in cash. It's an easy process. You put the work into it. It's, if we had it appraised right now, it'd most likely appraise for close to 95,000. You have built-in equity. You already have money coming in, like you said. You go to sleep, you're making money. But talk about a little bit what that's like in comparison to owning Airbnbs. What kind of hedge is that, and how does that make you feel, knowing that even though you have Airbnbs, high risk, high reward, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
something also like this that is going to pay you regardless of what's going on in the economic climate.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's a huge plus, and just a huge factor as far as like moving into the future of what's happening with the market, and just securing uh, income, and uh, just that. Like I said, I have a family as well, and so like being able to like build something that's a little stronger and secure in the structure. This it just it's just the way to go. Like I really have experienced like the team aspect of like people handling things, and the professionalism, and the security that something a check's coming in from a renter every month, and it's not, it may, as opposed to Airbnb where it could be, you know pennies, or dollars, a few dollars here or there, and maybe breaking even certain months, or no one's traveling that much anymore. All those things come into play with Airbnb. And so, not to say it's got its pros and its cons as well. I mean, it's been a blessing, but this is secure. Doing Section 8 and doing rentals out of state with you have been more of a secure path, and it's something that's a longer stretch and can go on for decades, and something we can build on for the next generation. For my kids, for my kids' kids, and that's a huge thing for me. And that's what I'm looking forward to, and I'm already seeing the fruit of that and the benefits just from the program in the last few months. And even like you were saying, how you come about business and doing things right, and making sure the property's ready and fixed up for the tenant, and making sure that things are the value of the home stays as it needs to. All that stuff I've learned from you in the class, and doing, having your structure to how things are done. It's it's I mean, it's amazing, man. And so that is the difference, between Airbnb and doing rentals, long-term rentals, and Section 8. So yeah, it's been huge, man.
Well, again, you've done it all yourself, and one wasn't enough. So you
No.
loved it, and you
Yeah.
said, let's do another one.
Yeah.
So then you bought a beautiful house. Beautiful. So the first one we bought was already occupied, cash flowing, and needed some big capital expenses, right? A new roof is not cheap.
Yeah.
But on that second one that you just bought and you just closed on, and we're in the process of rehabbing right now, you spent 116,000 on that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And it needed 5,500 in work just for us to go in, get it ready for Section 8, some updates here, some updates there. That's going to rent for between 1,200 and 1,300 a month.
Yeah.
And that was a home that has just been completely updated, absolutely beautiful. The maintenance, anticipated and estimated maintenance on that over the next 20 years is going to be extremely, extremely low.
Hmm.
Talk a little bit, Drew, about the thought process in buying one for cash that we bought for virtually 50% of the cost, and
Yeah.
then buying one that's virtually turnkey that is going to bring in 50% more rent. So talk a little bit about what you were thinking about on this last purchase, and why you wanted to move in that direction.
Yeah. The program, your program definitely helped me with this process because I had never done I had never, it was my first time one doing a cash, full cash uh, purchase. And then second house, the second property, was the first time using a private lender. And all of these things you were able to walk alongside me in and like point me to the right direction, the right people. And that for me was huge because, I had no idea what to do. I had zero education about any of this. And so that that's why, being in the program, it was huge. So the second property, I went private lender. You had all the connections. I was able to connect with somebody, get the right loan, be able to look at the property, lock it in, and it was just that process was so smooth to getting the house, getting the right connections, being able to, not only did I get, and also you're huge on the insurance, making sure the property insurance was the right insurance. I got connected to the right people for the insurance. And it's I have to mention this too. It kind of goes aside on the sidetrack, but the guy that you connected me with for the insurance for both properties actually helped me get the right insurance for my Airbnbs. I
Oh,
had no idea. I was actually on. I didn't have the incorrect. There was just like some things that were off a bit, and he like corrected a bunch of stuff that I really needed help with, and so he was just amazing. So just wanted to let you know, and anybody, man, this team is like your team, Rhett, is killing. They're like top, the cream of the crop. They just know exactly what they're doing. They're fast. They're professional. They know. And so going into this next property, the second one that I purchased, I decided to go with a private lender, and that process was very smooth. And we got the house. We went through the process of fixing it up, and getting now we're looking to get in a renter pretty soon. I think we've already locked somebody in.
yeah,
So there,
so we didn't even have
yeah,
to go live with the unit.
I
So
know.
it won't even be marketed. We already have a tenant lined up.
Woo, that's awesome, man. And it's just, I'm telling you, man, this is just, it's the way to go. And yeah, everyone's got to know about your program, man. And I'm telling you, there's not a lot of people that I've seen a lot of people on social media putting this stuff out there. Here, man, there's a lot of people with it's a lot of talk, but you, man, you put your money where your mouth is, and your humble spirit and your way that you come about things. It just that wins. That wins at the end of the day. And so, yeah, getting property one, property two has been such cake. And I'm going for property three. I'm looking now, and you're already showing me tactics and strategies on how to try this, or let's try this now. There's never a no, we can't do that. It's always with you, bro. It's always like, let's get hands on, let's figure it out. You've done it all, and that's the thing. You have experience in what you're actually doing. You're doing the same thing you're coaching people to do, and so that's huge. It's like you've already seen the ups and downs, you've already seen the waves, and so you know what to expect, and you know how to you know when the challenges come, what to say and what to do and how to walk people through that. And so that, you know, and that's the huge, that's why I find so valuable in your program.
Well, again, Drew, I appreciate that, and you're the one that's doing it, and I talk all the time on the channel, and I talk to people, and I say, look, if this is what you really want, and you want to build passive income, and you want to build generational wealth, and you want to understand
Mm-hmm.
what real financial freedom is,
Yeah,
you have to do it.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
you're the one that has to do it, and you are. And it's one of the reasons that my clients like you are so successful, is because that entrepreneurial spirit that you have and that you've had for a long time, right? It's what got you into Airbnbs. I'm sure you've known for a long time, Drew, that you want to live a life that you want to live.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want people making the rules for you. You don't want somebody telling you, hey, this is what time you need to show up to work. This is what time you need to do today. Your portfolio is what's going to pay you and take care of you and your family. Whether it's your Airbnb portfolio and it's coupled and hedged with your Section 8 portfolio, they're both going to keep growing and growing and growing. And that's what you've created, you know,
Absolutely.
and even though I've been here to help you with that and you've used team members, you're the one that's doing it.
Yeah.
So tell everybody at home, and I don't want to keep you forever, tell
No.
everybody at home what the next 12 months looks like for you. Where do you see yourself 12 months from now? What is your 6-month picture, your 12-month picture, and how do you plan on getting there?
Yeah. So the next 12 months, I'm hoping to get at least two more properties and have those cash flowing. And if I get more, that'd be great. We'll see. I think that's a goal for the next 12 months, being able to, at the end of that 12 months, maybe see if we can refinance. And then, you know, all the properties that I have out of state, and seeing and going from there and continuing the process every year, just either 2 to 5 properties a year would be the goal. So I see that in the next 12 months being able to get at least two to three, maybe if I can. And we'll see how that goes. It's definitely, you know, like you were saying, I just want to reiterate that you got to get in the game. You got to, you know, jump in, and definitely has been a lot of years of me spending, you know, working hard. It's a lot of sweat and a lot of working, a lot of getting out there, getting your hands dirty. And so you got, you know, whoever's listening, you got to get out there and just put yourself out there, and this is one way to do it. This is an opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to try this, and I'll tell you, it's Red is trustworthy. Red, you are such a huge uh, humble character and person that has that you can put your trust, you know, someone can put their trust in, and I have, and I'm huge on that. Like I said, man, I got to reiterate that, because a lot of people are looking around for somebody like they can trust, as somebody that has the qualifications, experience, and man, you got it. So everybody, you got to use this guy. He's amazing. But I'm telling you, right, like, yeah, that's my next 12 months right there, bro. I'm excited. I'm jumping in. I'm going full force. I'm not like going back. I'm maybe moving forward, and I'm already seeing passive coming in, and it's crazy how like how accessible those things are, those dreams, those things that we strive to, you know, want and desire. They're more attainable than, and they're closer than you think. You just have to believe it. One, get up and move and do something, and that's what I've done. And your program is one of those things along the way. You have been a huge just part of that process, and just putting a hand like this. All right, come on, let's go. Here's the next step. Here's the next level. And so that's my 12 months right now. So 2 to 3 properties. If more, cool, I'll take it. But my goal is two at least, and we'll go from there.
Well, we almost had, if you remember, we
I
almost had
know.
that 3-unit multifamily. that
Yeah.
we just lost at the last second.
It-
But
I know, man.
that's what happens. That's one of the reasons I don't use wholesalers.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of those
Yeah.
videos. And I always talk, guys, and real quick, a tiny background before we let Drew go here. He's been more than gracious with his time. But we had a 3-unit, 3 singles, right? It was 3
Yeah.
1-bedroom units, and we had it at an unbelievable price with barely any rehab needed. It was cash flowing, I believe, somewhere between, and correct me with these numbers, Drew, but I think
Yeah.
they were looking for around 100,000 for it,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it was cash flowing, maybe 400 a unit. Is that right?
Yep. That sounds about right. Yeah.
And we were going to bump it up to about 600 a unit and
Yeah.
get close to 2,000 a month for it, all 100% guaranteed Section 8. And it needed like 10,000 in work. I mean, it was in great shape.
Yeah.
Um, but the wholesaler wasn't honest with us.
Yeah,
They
man.
didn't even have the ability to sell it. It had issues. It had title problems. And it's one of the reasons. And think of the time that we spent on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think of that. You and I were on the phone some nights
Yeah.
late talking
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
lining the financing up and lining up the inspections and
Yeah.
some little ancillary things here and there. And then, of course, we find out, that
Yeah.
we can't even get it. But still,
Yeah.
a good experience and definitely something for us to go back to. A multifamily for you here coming up. I think that'd be a great way for you to scale now that you already have a couple good single families under your belt. But guys, please, Drew is such a servant leader, and he is such a good human being. Please, if you have questions for him about his investment style, his successes, pros, cons, things that he's gone through, please leave your questions and comments below. I'll be in the comment section as well if you guys have any questions there too. But again, Drew, thanks so much for coming on. And we'll see you guys next time.